Welcome to another conscious conversation on the Tidy Mind channel. Today I'm realizing that I need an audio to listen to when the mind is creating irritation, confusion, frustration, and something to focus on to bring you out, to bring me out of those spaces. So today mine has been, it started with a focus on work. And this has been a very dangerous territory for me to go into and allow my mind access to. So I've been playing it safe and not going into this topic, as in not thinking of how I used to think of what can I do for my business, what needs to happen. It's here are the thoughts. I'm just going to tell you all the thoughts that the mind then starts to generate when I open the door of work, of the work that I do, the business, the coaching that I do. When I open the door, these audios excluded, but when I open the door of the work that I do, the mind starts in with, it's all over the place, it's messy, you have too many things that need fed, meaning that need, to post here, to post there, to share here, to share there, to create this video, to create that video, to create a shorter video from the longer video. So that's the train of thought that the mind goes through when I open that door. And that train of thought is extremely overwhelming. And then it points out, well, you're only one person. So then that opens the door to pity, to victimhood, to I need help but don't have help. The whole, then that goes into heavier pain that's stirred up. So I know this is a very dangerous door to open, because as soon as I do, the voice in the head, the drama king or drama queen, has a whole lot to say that is very wrong about this topic and never has anything positive to say. It only focuses on how everything's all over the place and needs to be restructured and made more simple and fed regularly, and then goes into, but that would take a team of people that you don't have, and blah, blah, blah. Now, is any of that important in the grand scheme of life? No. Do I need any of that? No. Does any of that have to happen? No. Does if it was like it said it should be, if it met all the conditions that my mind said that it should meet, meaning it's organized, it's structured, it's fed, and it's well managed and well cared for, and people are getting regular content, and subscribers are getting what they need and getting their money's worth. If all those conditions were met, would that matter? It might change. They may change in outer circumstance. An outer circumstance may change if those things were corrected. But does it matter overall to me, the consciousness, me, the soul? No. And then I can hear my mind say, yes, but it does matter, because then you could be, here it goes again with the success, and you could be more successful, and you could earn more, and you could have more, and there it goes. So I know this is a very, this is not one that I've detached from. And you may have those for yourself. Ones that you go off into emotion very easily with. You go off into the pain very easily with. And that is one that I go off into it with. So why did I even open that door this morning? What set it off was Instagram now has a subscribers thing. You can have subscribers there on Instagram. And so I clicked it thinking, oh, okay, well, that sounds good. And didn't have any clue of what extra things I would offer subscribers. And so then that opened the door. Well, here it is. Here's the phrase. You better figure it out. You better figure it out. You better come along with me and figure this out. Or, what's the fear of the ego? People, you'll be stealing from them because they've subscribed and they're not getting anything extra. So that's not fair. You better find out what to give them extra. Or you will be stealing or dishonest or seen to be that way. And then the ego, will be diminished. And I'm going to sit with that right now. And so if you can identify, because I can feel peace and consciousness coming in and taking up that space as I just identify that. I identify what it's afraid of. And when we talk about the root or the core, the ego is always the root or the core. But if you can see why it's pushing you so hard. Why is it pushing for you to figure something out so hard? Because if you don't, what will happen? Remember, it will either look a way it doesn't want to look, feel a way it doesn't want to feel, or have to do something it doesn't want to do. None of it actually matters. At all. So that's your root. What's your mind? What's the voice in the head? If you're clicked on this video because you're also feeling frustrated and confused, maybe pressured to figure something out, turn around and look at that drama king or drama queen and see why it's pressuring so bad. Because it's not wanting to look, feel, or do something it doesn't want to do. What is it? Mine doesn't want to look bad. Yeah, I would say that would be the one that I would circle if I had those three things in front of me and could circle one. It doesn't want others to think that I don't value the energy of their money. It's $4.99. But to my mind, it's $499. To my mind, it's like, you better get out there and give them, I don't even know, so much for that $4.99, or they're going to think really bad of you and your values and then if they do, then the ego, not me, not what I am, would be diminished. Now, naturally, I want to give in exchange for what I'm given. If someone is purchasing something, I want to give value for that, naturally. But when my ego voice gets involved, it's excuse me. It's makes it into a super big deal. And then it blocks the response or the solution from coming through, because now I'm not just flowing with life and letting it come. I think, it has to come now. They're already here, and I have nothing. I don't know what to offer them, and they'll. So then there's the pressure. And then, of course, what the mind does is then it creates the problem, and then it offers the quick solution. Just do away with it all. That's what it's told me to do today. just shut it all down. Shut it all down. Like, don't do any of it. Like, just shut down all the platforms. Just stop. Just stop. And usually what it says is never the right answers. I don't know what to do from this space. I don't know the action to take because I'm swimming in the ocean of emotion, in the emotion ocean. Swimming around in the emotion ocean today of heaviness, the pain that it has caused from feeling pressured and listening to, then taking me down into pity and then taking me all over the place because I've believed it. So straight into the emotion ocean I went. If I would have not believed it, if I would have heard it talking about all that and not allowed it to pressure me, but I still cared about that, didn't I? I still cared about. That's still a very strong attachment to what people think about me and my values and morals. Still strongly attached to that. So I believed it, and I kept listening to it and feeding into it and going along for the ride for it, and into the emotion ocean I went. So if you're feeling that heaviness or feeling that emotion moving around in your body, you're still in the ocean. Don't make choices from there. What do they tell you if you ever get swept out in the tide, or if you're ever swept up in the waves? They say don't try to swim. They say to relax and float. Try to float on your back, or try to just relax your entire body and allow the current, allow the ocean to take you back to the shore. Don't resist. Just be there. But you'll hear the voice screaming, no, you have to make a decision. You have to do something now. Now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it right now. It has to be done now. Hurry. Time is a wasting. They're sitting there waiting. And that's not true. I I know the people who have subscribed, and none of them are sitting there thinking any of the things my mind is saying that they're thinking, and they're also not, they're gone on with their life. It's not only to me in my inner world is this overwhelming, devastating ocean of emotion. To them, it's an afterthought, if anything. But my mind, the voice in the head, is saying, no, it's them. They're waiting on this. You better hurry. You better get this done. Don't disappoint them. That's another. Don't disappoint them. So I think that doesn't want to look like it, doesn't respect and uphold morals and values, and it also doesn't want to feel the feeling of disappointing or being a disappointment. I think that's another part of it. Doesn't want to feel like I've disappointed someone, because that would make me feel bad. It's a bad feeling to feel like you've disappointed others. Like they were waiting on something and they didn't get it, and you've disappointed them. Could also make you feel like they may be angry, and then now you're going to have to, you'll feel bad because you've upset someone. And all this is a drama on a stage. Like none of this is actually happening. But the pressure to prevent all of that in the future is causing pain, caused me to buy into it because I still cared about that, caused me to go into the emotion ocean. I've been there all day. Now I've been conscious of it. I've not lost total consciousness. I've been conscious that I was there. I've been conscious that it was important not to struggle against it, but I also was still fueling it by not being able to not care. I was still caring about what it was saying and agreeing with it. So therefore, I was fueling it, and there I was in the emotion of it, in that emotion ocean. So if you are in the emotion ocean, don't make a choice, no matter if it says, no, you have to choose like right now. Nope, don't make a choice let the pain die. Let that emotion die. Realize that you are over caring about what the mind, you're caring about what the mind is saying. You're still kind of attached to that part of your ego that cares about that. That's a better way to say it. You're still attached to the part of your ego that cares about that thing. You care enough to want to do something to protect it. To come out of it, I have to be willing for those people who have bought something from me or subscribed in some way or who have had an exchange of money with me. I have to make my peace with disappointing them. I have to make my peace with making them wait for something, because I very much intend to provide a value in exchange for their subscription or their purchase. I very much do. But I want it to be from the space of what life wants to provide them. Not some hurry up, pull something together, figure something out type of thing that the ego would have me do. I know that there is no quality in that. So from this space, do nothing. If you're in the emotion ocean, do nothing but surrender. Do nothing that the mind is pressuring you to do. Do nothing. Let it go. It doesn't mean you do the solution of what the mind was saying. Like the mind was like, just do away with everything forever. It's not forever. For now, we're going to not do anything. Just relax. Let it go. Float in the emotion. Float with the waves. Let the waves be there. No action though. Don't flail around, kicking and screaming and trying to do anything that the mind says do, or the ocean will take you over and it won't spit you back out onto the dry land where you can stand and be with life and hear and feel what the quality thing is to do, the quality action to take. Maybe once you get on dry land and you're there for a little bit and the ocean has subsided and you're able to go back into the stream of life, maybe that is the answer. Maybe the answer is do away, just forget it. That's not a big deal. Like, just do away with everything. Just do nothing. Or maybe not. Maybe life has more it wants you to do in that area. More for you to do. More for you to experience. More for you to share. But you'll never know until you surrender, relax, don't act, just lay there, get spit back out on the dry land, let life tell you, let life show you, let life do it through you. Oh, in that van today, it took me to a very familiar place, or the emotion ocean, I should say. I also have an analogy about getting in the van with the mind, but either way, I went off with it, and it took me to a place I haven't been in a long time, but I've been there many times with my business, with my work. So many times, too many to count. And it's all over the fear of not giving value for money and disappointing others. It really does come down to that. And it gets me every time with that. And what if that's no longer there? What if I'm no longer concerned with what any ego says, not just mine, but another person's? And I just present it to life and say, I need to provide, or I would like to provide, or would you like me to provide, maybe? Would you like me to provide a service for this or cancel this? Pretty simple when you put it that way. Should I cancel this and give them their money back? Or should I provide a service? And then wait to see what inspiration comes. Without emotion, without fear, without pressure. Just a pretty simple, boil it down to as simple of a question as possible. Taking all of the me in my life out of it. Life, here is this. What do you want me to do with it? I could either do this or that. I could either cancel it or I could go with it. But if I go with it, I'm going to need some help because I'm not really sure what I need to do if I go with it, what I need to provide. So if the answer is go with it, then you're going to have to help me know what to provide. Make it simple. The voice in the head, the mind, always makes everything super hard. So mine has been doing that today. It's been talking about all the overwhelming stuff of marketing, and well, you have to do this, and you're competing with all the other voices out there, and you have to rise above the crowd, and it has to be engaging, and it's just that world. If you're going to be a success in this, this is the game you have to play, and knowing that I'm not interested in that. So it's taking me off into all those questions today. So your mind, you may have a topic like that, where you have so much content, so much information about a certain thing. And so that mind just regurgitates all that information at once, and you're just so overwhelmed and so in a just cloud of confusion. And you want to do the quote-unquote right thing. And then the pain starts, and then you're off in the emotion of it, and then you're believing in it, and then then you're lost in it, and then you're trying to, now you're so spun around and so confused and so frustrated. You know that's not where you're supposed to be, however, that's where you are. Meaning, you know, if you would have maintained a certain level of consciousness, you wouldn't be off in the pain of that. But you are. And that's okay. You are where you are. As long as you wake up to where you are and realize that, oh, okay, well, I'm believing it. I'm believing it. I'm believing what it's saying. I'm engaging with what it's saying. I've bought that. It's knocked on my door, offered to sell me this, and I said, sure, sign me up. Instead of saying, no, thank you, and closing the door. I signed up for a year membership. So I bought it. It got me. Which is only to say I still care about. I'm still attached to that part of the ego that cares about disappointing people. It cares about giving value, treating people fairly. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong about that value, but the mind is using that to create pressure and stress. It's using that to pull me away from life, the flow of life. It's using it against me to get me lost in emotion, to possess me, to act through me, to be in control. So it used something I cared about and created a fear around it. So I have to make my peace with the fear that it has around it, and that is the fear of disappointing others. I have to make my peace with that. That may happen. That may happen no matter what I do. I mean, anybody's ego is free to tell them things, true or untrue. I can't control whether they're disappointed with what they receive or not. But they get a choice. In any business, people get a choice of They can cancel things if they're disappointed. And that's okay. It does not have to be a drama. It doesn't have to be personal. It's not personal. And I'm also going to withhold how I interact with life, and that I want to provide a service in exchange. I want to provide a fair exchange to others, and that's just how I want to operate. It feels good to operate in that way. It brings me joy to operate in that way. So I will. But I will allow life to help me in that offering. And if it's nothing I'm supposed to offer, I'm going to cancel it. And yeah, go from there. So, key points from this is, if you've been lost in emotion today because you've been in frustration or overwhelm or confusion, and you bought it like I did, and you believed in it like I did, and you got lost in the emotion ocean, just see that. And surrender to that. And don't act because you're still there. Let it go. Go do anything else, something else, totally unrelated. And you may still hear the mind pressuring you. It has to be done, it has to be done. No, it'll be okay. Worst that can happen is if I disappoint someone, or I just send them their money back. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. That's in my situation. You'll have to determine what that is for you. What's the consequence if you do nothing and no inspiration comes to do anything at all about it? Well, you'll just cancel it, or not go with that, or apologize, or whatever it is that you need to do. And then that's that. You'll operate with as much respect to others and kindness and compassion as you can, as life flows through you naturally. And then that's that. And then you'll hear all the yeah buts. Yeah, but I have to. Yeah, but that's going to make me look. Yeah, but then I'll feel like a failure. Or yeah, but then I'll. Okay. That's good. You'll be diminished. Ego, that's good. I'm glad you'll be diminished. That way you don't have the power to pull me into the emotion ocean over this thing ever again. Lovey. She is laying on her back in my lap. Yeah, like a baby. And then take a deep breath. It does not feel good to be lost in the emotion ocean. Not one bit. Especially when you know. When you know that you've been overtaken by that unconsciousness. And I think that I was where I was messing up today or forgetting to do was to surrender and don't act. Don't choose. Don't make choices. I was still trying to figure it out. There's your key phrase. That you're being controlled by the drama king or queen. To figure it out. I was still all day, instead of just letting it go. Don't have to know. Let it go. It's not a big deal. Worst comes to worst, here's what I'll do. No, my ego won't like it, but this is what I'll do. It's not a big deal. Surrender to the pain and don't do anything. Don't choose anything. Don't try to figure it out. Don't get on Canva and make graphics. Don't schedule a lunchtime live just for subscribers, which is what I did today. Don't do anything. So I'm going to leave whatever I've already done. Just going to leave it. Like I already did it from the emotion ocean. No idea if it was in alignment with what life would have me do or not. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to, from this space, I'm just going to stop. And I'm not going to come back to it until inspiration brings me back to it. Not when my mind brings me back to it, because as soon as I'm done with this audio, my mind's going to bring me back to it. It's going to start talking to me about it. All you need to do is just create this graphic and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No. Nope, not from here. My consciousness is priority, not some business. My consciousness. Me being conscious. And anytime you get sucked in, as I have today, it's good because it shows you. You bring your awareness to those things that still have the power, that you still care in a way that protects the ego. And then you can be like, oh, okay, it still gets me with this and that. And I was aware that it gets me with this topic of work and will overwhelm me and talk to me about how I can't do it all myself and blah, blah, blah. And the marketing and it has a whole train of thoughts. And I've heard every single one of them today. So, but I opened the door. And then, yeah, I couldn't say no. When it offered me all that, I couldn't say no to it. I was like, okay, yeah, we can figure this out. And it tricked me by saying, well, you either got to do it or let it go. Like it was an all or nothing. It gave me an ultimatum. You've got to either figure this out and make something of it or just forget it forever. That was its ultimatum, which now that I look at that from a more conscious space, that seems very it's insane, because nothing is all or nothing. Nothing is do it now or do it never. That was just its way of making me feel pressure, or this is urgent, or you have to do it now, and that got me. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Either do something or just let it die. It's like, yeah, you're right. And it didn't even matter. And because I thought it mattered, I You know what energy I bought that with when it opened the door and tried to sell me this stuff? I traded my peace. That's what I paid for. That's how I paid for this painful, pressure-filled story. I handed my peace over and said, okay. And off we went. I had no peace. I was in the emotion ocean, back hearing that same dialogue, that same storyline that I've heard so many times that I had not heard in a very long time because I had just gave it up. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to, if life inspires me to create something, I'm going to create it. But it knocked on the door today and was like that old work inner child, that old ego about business. And all its pain stories about marketing and social media and videos and clips and shorts and reels and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, and there went my peace. My peace is more important to me than any of that. If I lose that, life can't operate through me. Can't share from a conscious space that could bring other people out of their unconsciousness. I'm of no service if I'm there. Yeah, I could wing it and make something up and put something out there, and people who are unconscious are not going to know maybe and just buy it anyway. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. What I do value is my peace. My ability to be conscious and my ability to serve from a space of consciousness. That's my focus and my priority. And if it's, as my mind is saying, you're wasting, you should be doing so much more and you're wasting it and you should be no, I like my peace too much. Thank you very much. And if it's supposed to do more, then life will make that happen. I don't have to make anything happen. Be present. I hope something has helped you. I know I was very kind of specific in using more of my own personal situation, but hopefully you can plug your situation that you're in right now into some of what I said. And help you give me my peace back. Thank you very much. I tell you who wants their money back. It's me. I want my peace back. Here, you can have your stories back. Thanks. You can have your scary, pressure-filled stories and confusion and rat race. You can have that back. Thank you. I'll take my peace back, please. I want a refund from my ego. I'll take my peace any day over anything else. I'll take my peace and I'll go home. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.